Oh yeah, that's true. Does your arm hurt? Oh yeah.
We'll buy you a drink.
Yeah. Here.
Let me introduce you our last team, Team Crescent. Crescent team represents Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. They will explain you how they promote healthy living. You can start and good luck.
Thank you. What is the best form of exercise when it comes to weight loss? If you are thinking about running, you are probably right. As a runner myself, I love hitting the pavements, but more importantly, my goal is to live a healthier lifestyle. But when it comes to healthy living, you've likely pondered this age-old question of which is more important, exercise or diet. As runners, we often have the mindset that we can eat whatever we want as long as we run enough. However, diet does play a much bigger role as shown by studies, and this is something that many of us fail to realize, and hence that's the problem that we want to address. As Singaporeans, we love our food. However, we don't always make the best food choices. As shown over here, 95% of Singaporeans do not eat enough healthy food, such as fruits and vegetables. And worse still, we have a high consumption of calories and fats. All these can potentially lead to a weight gain of 5 kg a year, which can be detrimental to our health. In addition, we found out that 60% of Singaporeans tend to eat out at least 4 times a week instead of cooking at home, and they will usually eat at hawker centers. However, studies have shown that hawker food usually contain too much salt, too much saturated fat, as well as cholesterol. The two key reasons to why most Singaporeans eat out is due to a lack of time as well as a lack of cooking skills. Hence, it is evident that Singaporeans value convenience a lot. Furthermore, bad eating habits are often associated with diseases such as cancer and diabetes, as well as other negative effects such as a drop in standard of living, a drop in productivity, be it at the workplace or at home, as well as increased healthcare costs for families. Therefore, this is undesirable as well as unsustainable for individuals in the long term. To sum up, poor eating habits can lead to unwanted effects, and furthermore, a huge amounts of spending have been utilized by both the government and people to address these health-related issues. Hence, we believe that prevention is better than cure, and it all starts from good nutrition. After doing some market analysis, we realized that there's actually an increasing demand for healthcare for healthy living in Singapore. Healthy living has been advocated by both the government and the private sector, which has positively influenced the Singaporean mindsets. However, most Singaporeans still do not make good food choices, good eating habits, and these are due to reasons such as the availability of tastier alternatives, a lack of time, as well as the high price tagged to healthy food. Therefore, we believe that we have come up with a solution to address this issue. Presenting to you, Crescent. Our vision is to enable healthy living by providing nutritious home-cooked food.
So our business model is actually an online platform which connects housewives to working professionals, providing them with nutritious home-cooked meals. So our target market is actually working professionals who are well educated and understand the importance of nutrition in their daily diet. However, as Bertrand has mentioned, these food are often pretty expensive and pretty inconvenient to obtain. So we see that there is a potential in this market for us to tap into. So using that understanding, we actually come up with a method to solve this problem, and at the same time solving another critical social need in Singapore, which is actually with regards to housewives. So what happens is that housewives from lower income families in Singapore, they are often unable to go out to work full time because they have to stay at home to care for their children. So what happens is that we'll be hiring these housewives to be our chefs, and this will actually maximize our social impact because we actually be supplementing their income and actually increasing their standard of living. So it will be actually convenient for our housewives because all they need to do is to cook an extra few portions on top of what they normally cook for their families. And from a business perspective, we will be saving on costs because there is no need to invest in a kitchen or a storage. And also, we'll be ensuring that nutritious meals are cooked with love because these housewives will already be cooking these meals for their own children. So, our aim is actually to be promoting healthy lifestyle among working professionals, and this is sustained through habitual consumption. And upon analysis, we found out that habitual consumption is only sustained through reasonably priced and good tasting food, which are convenient to obtain. So this sums up our unique value proposition. I'll be now going through our process system. So firstly, we'll be hiring competent and responsible chefs because we not only want them to provide good home-cooked food, we also want them to treat their job seriously and be responsible in their tasks. Subsequently, we actually want quality and safety assurance. This is our #1 priority. So we'll be having food and health safety accreditations and diet and nutritional course completions. So we also want to maintain our control, consistency, and a personal touch. So what happens is that our housewives will come up with their original menu, and they will discuss with the nutritionist to increase the nutritional value of their original menu. And then she'll budget for her expenses, and she'll be uploading her menu on an online website. As for ordering, we understand that our customer segment value convenience and efficiency a lot. And we also know that they are very tech savvy. So they will be ordering through an online website or an application. And to facilitate our food preparation process, they will be placing an order minimum of 1 day in advance. And we estimate that the average cost of the meal is about $10, which is well within the range of the prices of food in the central business district. As for cooking, we want to ensure consistency and efficiency. And so the housewives will be preparing predetermined menu and will be packing them for the delivery. And also we understand that our housewives, their primary responsibility is to care for their children at home. So they do not sometimes they can't find the time to leave their houses. That's why our delivery man will meet the housewife right at her doorstep to collect the orders. And these delivery men will start to deliver it to the central business district, and an automated SMS will be sent to the customer 10 minutes before he reaches, so that to facilitate our food delivery process. And also timestamps will be placed on the food packaging in alignment with the Singapore health regulations. So we actually think that it's operationally feasible for us to deliver food on time and for us to deliver food fresh in Singapore. This is because of the unique characteristics of Singapore. So as you can see on the slide, there are many houses concentrated near each other in Singapore. So this means that in one single housing district alone, there are many housewives which can be found there. So it is actually a relatively simple process for us to collect our orders from the different housewives from the same housing district. Furthermore, Singapore spans just 50 kilometers wide, and it only takes us 30 minutes drive from one of the furthest housing districts in Singapore all the way down to the central business district. So this actually increases the logistical feasibility of transporting food on time. As for the reviews, we actually want to enable a closed-loop feedback system, and that's why we're actually going to have an easy rating system for our customers to rate both the housewives as well as the delivery men. So upon receiving any complaints, an investigation will be conducted and a full refund will be given to the customers.
We understand that one of our key resources in this partnership is our housewife. So this is the question that we ask ourselves: how do we attract and retain our housewives over time? So firstly, to attract them, we have a very strong value proposition of convenience. As explained earlier, their primary duties are mothers. They are mothers, but yet they are capable of cooking. So they can use this skill while adhering to their duties as mother by allowing them to work from home. Also, the time that they will be cooking will be the hours of the day where their children are in school. So this time, we are actually maximizing their time to produce income for their family. For the next part, we understand that safety and nutrition is very important to our value proposition. Hence, there is no need for certification. However, this household may come from maybe from the lower income family. So there's a need for us to reduce their initial capital required to attain this certification to start this business for themselves. So how we do it is that we'll be subsidizing 75% of the cost for these certifications. And 25% could be even covered by the Singapore government workfare subsidy scheme that we have. So essentially, they do not have to fork out much. Also, this will increase their individual earning capacity into the long run. And lastly, we believe in fair payment for our housewives. Monetary compensation will be attractive for the amount of effort they put in. And this will make a significant difference in their household income as low household income earners. Secondly, how do we retain our housewives? Firstly, we see them as business owners. We do not see them as our employees or just merely chefs. They are part of the co-creation of the menu in deciding when they want to cook, how much they want to cook, and what do they exactly want to cook. So we help them to give them a place to showcase their talents while contributing to their own economy. We assist them in attracting their customers through professional photography of their food and write-up to increase their attraction. Secondly, we understand that joining us in the long term will increase their regular income. Individual effort to cook more will bring in more income for their family. Secondly, as we plan to expand, we grow our business with our housewife in mind. So what do I mean by this? As we grow, we plan to expand to cooking classes, and we can train these housewives to become cooking instructors. This will substantially increase their income into the long run. We understand that economic is not enough. There needs to be a social network support where we plan to build a community of housewives that will support each other socially and emotionally. So understanding our value proposition to customers, how do we then reach out to them through our marketing message? Firstly, it's important that we develop the idea of the personal touch. We brand it as home-cooked food for you, specially by mothers. As Singaporeans, we value the food that is cooked by our mothers. So how do we do that? Is to build a connection of housewives to our customers. It is through an online profile of the housewife, and we list out they can list out what their interest is, their family profile, so you can really connect to the person that is cooking to you by the chefs. And also, a personalized thank you card will be given by the housewives. So essentially, we feel that our customers will think that they are not only buying a food to contribute to just another business, but their actions are seen and having positive externalities on family. Secondly, to generate interest and trust as a new company, we will help to attract our customers by going down to where they are in the central business district area, where we provide lunchtime food tasting session for them to try out our food to know that it is of quality even though it's just cooked by housewives. So they will be aware of our brand and form a positive impression. And secondly, to encourage them to spread the word and try it out ordering for the first time, we will incentivize them by providing a one-time off discount.
So, what are the plans for us in the near future? In the next 4 months, we'll be liaising with housewives, liaising with relevant institutions to fine-tune our strategies, as well as to design the app. Lastly, we also test out market demands by providing local food sessions as explained by Odilia previously. We also have marketing and promotion activities that are lined up for the next 3 years. So, let's talk about the long-term business strategies that we have. Our long-term business strategy is split into 3 phases. The first phase is providing affordable, convenient, as well as good healthy options for everyone in Singapore. And this would mean expanding our delivery service beyond the central business district. And therefore, we see potential in reaching out to the entire central business district, expanding into B2B, and providing dinnering options to families in the future. We also realize that with the expansion of delivery services, we'll need more key partners. And therefore, we'll be hiring more other social groups who are able to cook well, but they do not have the ability to showcase their talents to earn sufficient economic income. So these will be the people such as ex-convicts, or physically handicapped, and we'll be hiring them as our key chefs. And the second phase, we'll be empowering individual actions. What do I mean by that? We'll be conducting cooking classes to teach people on how to cook nutritious meals, and in the long run, we'll be teaching the housewives to cook and conduct these culinary classes to further supplement their income. And we understand that food purchase is actually one of the most important part in cooking up food nutrition, a good meal. So we'll be vertically integrating into the food supply by liaising with supermarkets for cosmetic filtering food to provide bulk purchase cosmetic filtering food so that we can use this food and then sell to these customers at a lower rate. And lastly, the third phase is to integrate the 3 tiers of healthy living, which is diet, exercise, and sleep together in our business model. And our aim is to make healthy living a lifestyle for all. So we recognize that businesses do not usually go to plan, and there are a lot of risks and mitigation that we have to put in place. So here are just some of the risk and mitigations that we have come up with, and we are happy to share with you any others if you are keen to know more.
Therefore, in Crescent, we believe that a healthy lifestyle begins from a healthy diet. Join us in starting this food revolution. Help us help others. Thank you. And we are now open to donations. I mean questions.
Thank you very much. Now is the time for the judges' questions. Who want to start?
Well, fantastic. I would like, maybe, I don't know if it's a question or it's a recommendation. I think that you're aiming that the housewives is fantastic. You're promoting the housewives' way of living and doing more income. But try to focus also on the social impact. You're creating an enormous social impact on the healthy habits, on the diet. So try to figure out if you have any, I can make a question, do you have any way of measurement of this impact on the local population?
Okay, so one of the part that we have actually come up with is actually a household analysis. As you can see from the slides, from the 1st to 20th percentile, their average spending in Singapore, this is a 2016 statistics, that they are spending around $2,231 per month. And as you can see from the right, on your right, that the average income of these households are $2,000, which means they are not earning enough to spend and live in Singapore. So what we propose, actually we have a financial calculations if you are keen to know, that they are actually earning about $400 a month. And this will be enough to supplement the difference that they will have together with some of the government support. We believe that this will make a positive social impact to them. And furthermore, as you can see from the 21st to the 40th percentile, the difference is only around $1,700. And how much we are adding on to their income just from 1.5 hours a day of work is around 10%. And so we believe that this is a very viable economic, the social impact that we give to households is actually very huge.
I think in addition to his point on social impact that we bring to housewives in terms of supplementing their income, to address your question on the health-related issue, our vision is actually to enable healthy living. So through this, in terms of reaching out to our customers to integrate healthy lifestyles in their lives, we also want to reach out to a wider impact in terms of integrating it in the households of the housewives. So by partnering up with our housewives, we ensure that they are the ones who are cooking the nutritious meals, not only for our customers, but also for their families. So through this, we hope that we can reach out to more consumers, as well as to more suppliers who are our housewives. Yeah.
Sorry, it's easy to measure, I think, if you do a survey after a 6-month period with some regular customers, you can see the impact, really, how healthy they are, or they feel, how healthy do you feel after 6 months using this fantastic food.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And do you have ideas on how you would promote this social impact you're having with the customers and like using this to promote your product? And
I think largely the promotion will be on our website itself, where they will see the nutritional, like on the website itself, we will list out the nutritional facts that they need to know, because that is our main value proposition. But then on the flip side of it, where we have the further expansion, where we have cooking classes, that one it will come in with the educational and integration of the nutritional idea. Yeah.
I think in addition to a point where we can start from is the early life stage of the normal Singaporean. So what we can do is reach out to the, let's say, secondary schools or universities, people who are still we are still able to educate them on what exactly is nutritious meals, as well as the benefits of consuming nutritious meals. So through this, they are able to carry on with their healthy lifestyle throughout their years.
I do understand that we live in a quite big world with different cultures. My knowledge of Singapore is quite small, besides a friend that lives and works there. I am quite surprised about this housewives approach, where here we have a very, very diverse, we do have feminism issues or masculinism issues. I don't know none of my friends that have the dream to be a housewife, although I would be a housemate. What about other populations that lives in exclusion in Singapore? I am aware that there are big populations that are excluded because of diversity issues or ethnicity issues. Why don't you address that in Singapore, where I see that there are issues over there about that, but your model seems quite to be Singaporean lifestyle centric?
With regards to your question about the housewives, actually it really isn't a dream for many to be a housewife, but it's actually born out of necessity, because some lower income families, they do not have the means to get external help to help them to take care of their children. So maybe they cannot afford to send their children to after school care, or they cannot afford to hire a domestic help or part-time help. So what happens is that they have to stay at home to take care of their children, and as well as some of the elderly in their family. So as a housewife...
But so this means that they are already busy? And are
not
they connected?
Really. It's like they can go out, they can work, but the hours that they can work is like when their children go to school and before their children come back, kind of thing. So their children, normally primary school children will leave for school about 7 and they come home about 1. So because of this kind of like work schedule where you have to be at home at certain timings, many of them cannot go out and work. And even if they can go out and work, these housewives are the ones that do not really have an education, in the sense that maybe have a lower level of education. So when they go out and work, they probably earn 1,000 plus. And if they were to hire a maid to take care of their children, it will be more or less about the same cost. So that most of them would not really see a point to go out and work, because it will not really have a net benefit of their household income in general.
I think to further address your question of like why are we targeting housewives and not other like, for example, racial discrimination or anything, is that because in Singapore there are a lot of government policies. So for example, in one HDB block, which we call flats, so there are percentages of ethnicity minority. So for example, 20% must be Indian, 10% must be Malay, 30% must be Chinese. So in this case, there are already integration, and what we are trying to do is actually to weave the social fabric better by connecting them through food. Because in Singapore, we have a lot of different food. So we have Malay food such as, we have Indian food such as prata, we have Malay food such as nasi padang, we have Chinese food such as chicken rice, and we have like Eurasian food such as Western food, fries and steak and stuff like that. So to address your question, I believe that one of the potential ways that we can address the bigger issue of like racial discrimination or anything is through food. And the first step that we believe that we can go through this is by finding a gap in the market, which are the housewives. And we're not saying that we're just targeting housewives. In the future, we'll be targeting, for example, ex-convicts, physically disabled people who actually have the ability to cook, but people discriminate against them because of what they inherit, because of their...
To add on to his point, right, like racial discrimination will act out on your economic status. Because of discrimination, maybe in hiring policies, you end up not having a job. So in the sense, we can integrate them into sort of our proposal as cooking for other people in a sense, because like we won't discriminate whoever that is according to race or religion or anything, because they are marked by their cooking abilities. So in this sense, it's a level platform for them to upgrade their whole social economic status.
So it is an inclusive platform for them.
Yes, for anybody.
And are they connected enough to be as a connectivity to the internet? Do they have
most Singaporeans at least have a smartphone or computer. Like, this wouldn't be a problem.
Our internet penetration is actually more than 100% because people have 2 phones.
And your infrastructure is faster than here. Far more, I can tell you.
Some other questions? No? And for the public?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, we start there.
Okay, so I just saw you having the supporting the market size kind of thingy.
Yes.
I'm interested in see like targeting these households because I think it's very interesting because the population of Singapore is roughly that of a very big city, right? So it's a model that could be implemented. My question is yes, do you have estimates on how many housewives, how much product can you make, and out of them, who would be really interested in that extra income? Because being in Singapore, $200 makes the difference for low income, but many people would not bother to put that effort for $200 given the prices that you guys have. So do you have any info on that? I'm just curious about it.
Actually, the market sizing that we have here is based on demand,
That's
which are actually
customer
our consumers. So with regards to your question on housewives,
I think if you are keen, we can share with you a bit of our financials. So looking at the financials, the revenue and cost breakdown, one by one, is that the revenue generated, we are assuming in this case that the housewife can only cook 6 meals a day, which is 2 deliveries. Because we are assuming that one person will order for 3 people. There's a minimum order of $25. So basically they will complete 2 deliveries for every person. So our calculations are basically based on that. And the number of break-even customers, which are the people who order on our website, is only 69. So the potential market, as you can see, was 0.5 million. And with the number of break-even customers and the amount that we spend per delivery, the amount that we need to achieve per day is actually only about $2,000. And we believe that it's a very viable market out there. Yeah.
So you don't have like the numbers for supply, but you believe it's manageable?
There's no publicly available information for the number of housewives, but if you look at the population income distribution, you will know that there are a lot that fall under the 40th percentile, and it will be quite sizable. And then we only need like 1 person to cook for 6 people, so in a sense the ability to scale is quite great.
Thank you.
I think it's an interesting combination of addressing 2 different things. I just want to know like how prevalent is this low-income housewife issue is in Singapore, and you also mentioned that they are taking care of their kids, and you gave a number that without your platform that they're only earning a certain income. How did you do that?
I think based on some of the market research that we have done, at least 58% of Singaporeans, which includes the whole population, earn less than the median income of, let's say, we have searched is about 8,600 plus. So looking at the bottom 40th percentile, that is even lower, of around 4 to 5K. And to live comfortably in Singapore, it actually amounts to around at least 2 to 3,000. And if we look at the difference between the income and the amount of food expenditure they have, as well as other expenditures, you can see that they are barely struggling and making ends meet. So based on our projections of about $400 a day for housewives, we deem that it is about at least 20 to 30% of their household income. So this will actually supplement significantly.
With regards to your question about why these housewives stay at home but still have some income, it's actually from their husbands, who actually are the sole breadwinner of the family for most of these low-income families.
Okay, now the time is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to thank the judges. Thank you for your time, and thank you all the teams think that now it's over.
If you leave me just one moment I want to address all the teams, because I participated in the training program on Wednesday. So I want to congratulate you, all of you, and I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to go ahead with all your projects. It's fantastic. It blows my mind, some of them. And as I told you in the training the other day, you're already social entrepreneurs. The fact that you are here, it means a lot. We are in a school of management, but we are changing. We are changing the business models. We are changing the structures. So even though we have to choose we have to choose one project, but even though follow ahead with your plans, because well, some of them are very well developed. The others need more, but as an economic activity, non-economic activity, regarding no matter the legal structure you're going to find, I urge you to pursue your dreams and go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I think that you can go you can stay here or you can go to Xerox. Púrale a la sala.
Fuera de todo esto,
Very professional, very